Now let's do another problem, which will be a combination of the problems that we had discussed in the earlier sessions. So let's read and understand the problem and make the strategy. So problem number 7, calculate the change in entropy when 1 kilogram of ice at 250 Kelvin is converted into water at 300 Kelvin. Ice at 250 Kelvin is converted into water at 300 Kelvin. So let's think of this one. See, what's the normal temperature that we discussed for ice? That is 0 degrees Celsius. So means 273 Kelvin. But here it is given ice is at a much lower temperature. So 250 Kelvin only. So 250 Kelvin means you can see then it's minus 23 degrees Celsius. Minus 23 degrees Celsius. So it's well below the freezing point of water. Okay. So means you have to start from there. So just let's make a strategy for this problem. Let's divide the problem into different stages. Okay. So let's divide it like this. So you start with ice at 250 Kelvin. 250 Kelvin. Okay, ice at 250 Kelvin. So that is where we begin. Now finally where we have to reach? We have to reach water at 300 Kelvin. Okay, so in order to do that, ice, what are the stages involved? Ice at 250 Kelvin has to be first okay, it should be heated until it's ice at 273 Kelvin. Ice at 273 Kelvin. Okay, so there is no phase change involved here. Then there will be a phase change. Okay, ice at 273 Kelvin will be converted into water at 273 Kelvin itself. Water at 0 degrees Celsius. This is where the phase transition occurs. So water at 273 Kelvin itself. Now water at 273 Kelvin should be then finally converted into water at 300 Kelvin. 300 Kelvin. So 27 degrees Celsius is increased. Okay, 300 Kelvin. So it's just finally this is a final okay stage. So let's do how to do. Okay, so it's ice itself, but some Ti to Tf, right? So what we need is what? Heat capacity of ice is needed, or specific capacity of ice is needed. So here we'll be using dq, right? So we call that here it is the heat absorbed is dq1 or delta q1. So it will be equal to mc, okay, dt. We have to use this equation like mc dt for heat required here. Okay, and here it is dq2. Let me say that this is dq2. The heat required is dq2, but it involves some phase transition, so that will be equal to mass into latent heat of fusion, right? MLF. Okay, latent heat of fusion, because ice into water. Then again it's water to a better higher temperature, so that will be again what temperature changes involved, Ti Tf are involved. So I can say here the heat involved, heat required is dq3. That will be again once again equal to some mc dt, where dt is equal to 300 minus 273. So this is a strategy. Now I think you can convert stage by stage. You can calculate each of the entropy change. It's quite easy. So first stage. Okay, all the data are available for us. Okay, if anything else is no, yeah, specific capacity of ice is given, and latent heat of fusion of ice is also given, 336 into 10⁻³ joule per kilogram. We also need to have a specific capacity of water in the third stage. So that is a standard value, you know. All these are in joule per kilogram. It's all joule, and also let me, okay, specific capacity of water, even though it is not given, you have to recall it from your memory. So it is something like 4186, right? 4186. Okay, just you can write joule per kilogram per Kelvin or joule per kilogram Kelvin. Okay, so that is the value of speed capacitor of water. So stage 1, right? What is that? First one. Okay, so first case, what is that? What will be the delta S1? So delta S1 will be equal to just dq by okay, or t integration. So that is we have already made the ready-made equation, that will be equal to m into c into, hope you remember, log mc log, that's the standard equation, mc log tf by ti, tf by ti, that is our equation. Okay, you know how it's okay, coming and all. The thing is that delta S is equal to, we have discussed this previously, I'm just repeating it once again. Delta S is equal to integral from Ti to Tf dq by T. So dq1, so here it will be delta S1, so it will be dq1. So dq1 is equal to mc dt, so it will become integral Ti to Tf, right, mc, c of what? So in the first case it's ice to ice, so it means heat capacity of ice should be taken, ice, mc ice into dt over t. So that is what you are on taking, on doing integration, you are taking mc outside, you are getting mc log, right, mc log tf by ti, which I have used here. So here c should be c of ice, be careful about when you are given multiple data, okay, which you can substitute and get it. So what is that? It's equal to mass is 1 kilogram, so it's quite easy. So it's 1 into, I'm not writing the units because all are in SI units, I make sure. Okay, 1 into c of ice. What is c of ice given? 2100 joule per kilogram Kelvin, so that is also SI unit, no worries, into log of, natural logarithm of, okay, what is the value? Tf, what is T final? 273 divided by 250. You can just work out this one and you will find that this answer is okay, close about some 184.8. the unit will be SI unit itself of entropy or entropy change, that is joule per kilogram. So you got first one. So this part is over. Now the second part of the problem, that is always advise that you do it step by step so that you can just verify. Delta S2, and didn't you see that the first part is positive? Okay, the entropy change is positive because you can see that ice, the heat has been absorbed by ice, so we expect that other things remaining the same, the entropy of the molecular randomness would have got increased, okay, or entropy would have increased. So second case, delta S2, can't you see that delta S2 involves a change of phase? So it will be equal to simply, what will be the equation? Always remember ds is equal to dq by t, so it will be equal to m lf by t, m lf by t, right? So just it's equal to, right, 1 into lf. What is latent heat of fusion of ice? That is 336 is given, 336 into 10 raised to 3, right? 336 into 10 raised to 3 all divided by its t means same temperature is maintained, you know, 273. T is equal to 273 in this case because the same temperature is maintained. So this answer, it will be close about to some, okay, 1230, 1230, okay, 0.7 joule per Kelvin. Okay, so yeah, one thing let me tell you, latent heat of fusion of ice is given to be 336 into 10 raised to 3. How come that one? You remember that we had memorized LF is equal to some 80 calories per gram, but since we are using SI unit here, it has been converted 80 calories. So 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joules, but it is in kilograms, so it becomes 4186. So 80 into 4100, okay, okay, so no, 180 joule per kilogram. Okay, you just check it, this value will be equal to 336 or 3.36 into 10 raised to 5, 336 into 10 raised to 3. joule per kilogram, and this is the way it has come. Even if it is not given, you should be able to recall from this data and convert it into SI units. That's it. So that is the second part of the problem. Now the third part of the problem. The third part of the problem is third. So what is the third stage? So we have calculated this part, this stage entropy change also. The third stage is again water to water. So you know it's very similar to the first stage. So it is, let me call this one as delta S3 in the third stage. So it will be equal to MC log. So only two types of equations are used in all these cases. So either MC log TF by TA or ML divided by T. L will be either LF or LV. That's all. Okay. TF by TI. Always remember it like this: T final by T initial. Okay. And which C has to be used? Now it is already water. So I have to use the specific capacity of water here. And here it is specific capacity of ice. Okay. So that is CW. Be careful about that one. Do not substitute the other value here. Okay. So M. How much is M? It's again 1 kilogram. So we suppose that okay, there is no mass change here. So CW, you know what is CW? 4186. Okay, into logarithm of T final. What is T final here? Finally, we are okay, 300 Kelvin divided by 273 Kelvin. Okay, so we can just work it out, and you will get this one round about some 394.8 joule per Kelvin. Okay, so you can see that in going from the ice to water, okay, continuously the entropy change is positive because the molecular disorder or the randomness will be getting on increased due to the absorption of heat continuously. So that is also logically correct, right? And yeah, our stage is over. So you can see here. So what is the total entropy change? That's a question. Therefore, what to do? Therefore, total entropy change delta S total. So delta S total equal to, that will be equal to delta S1 plus delta S2 plus what? Delta S3 in the 3 stages. So just add it up and you'll be getting it's around about some 1810 around about, okay, joule per kilogram, sorry, joule per Kelvin, joule per Kelvin. That's SI unit. Be careful about the SI units or you final answer units. So that was a comprehensive problem, and this is a very common kind of problem that you may come across in usual examinations. In some cases, in some rare cases, okay, it may further get extended. Okay, how it can be getting extended? Instead of telling that converted into water at 300 Kelvin, you may give steam. So you will have to extend it. So here what will happen? The problem will be changing. So you have to add one more stage. So 273 Kelvin to 373 Kelvin. Okay, that is water. Then from water to steam, that you will have to take up. Okay, so there will be once again, what is that? M into L of vapor. Then you have to calculate some dQ4. Okay, and steam. So if it is steam at 100 degrees Celsius, then it will be 373 Kelvin. Okay, otherwise you have to just do one more stage. Okay, so dQ5 with MCDT once again, right? So depending on the problems, I hope that you how to do that. So in the previous problem, we have been doing this part, this part, this part individually. Now it's a comprehensive problem involving continuous change of state. Okay, so hope it will okay, give you some idea about what we are doing. Okay, right? So finally, before we end up the sample problems, let me discuss one more case. So far we have discussed just the cases okay, separately. Now I think one case was left out, which is commonly seen. So this is the case, yeah, calculating the entropy change during the adiabatic mixing of two fluids. This is yet another common type of problem you may come across. Okay, so entropy change during the adiabatic mixing of two fluids. So what you have to consider is that we have considered the adiabatic mixing of two fluids and finding out the final resulting temperature. So we extend this problem into the entropy change calculation. That's all. Okay, so you consider okay, two compartments. Okay, and let me assume that these two compartments they are isolated. Okay, or sorry, they are just adiabatic. Okay, So that is enclosed in some adiabatic boundary. Okay, just assume that they are in some adiabatic boundary. Okay, so there is some no chance of heat flowing out of these two. Now let me call these two as system A. This is system A and this is system B. Let's assume A and B be the two systems, subsystems I can call, and let us assume that the first system is at a temperature TA and second system is initially at a temperature TB. Okay, so let's assume that these two are two different fluids, two different liquids, for example. Okay, it can be liquid or gas, doesn't matter. So let me assume that the specific capacity of the first thing will be Ca, and that of the other one is, let it be Cb, and let the mass of the sample, okay, mass of the first thing that be is Ma, and the mass of second thing be Mb. So these are the data available. And further, let me assume that let Ta be greater than Tb. Let Ta be greater than Tb. Okay. So now let's assume that if you remove, we are discussing about adiabatic mixing, right? So if you remove this partition, if you are removing this partition, what will happen? Automatically the two liquids may get mixed up. It will get mixed up. Okay, so it will get mixed up, and during mixing up, you know, there will be a heat flow actually, right? There will be a heat flow. Okay, and heat will flow in such a way that finally the temperature of A and B will change, right? And the temperature of the combined system will be reaching an intermediate temperature. It will be reaching an intermediate temperature. So we call that intermediate temperature to be equal to TF. So TF be the intermediate temperature. For example, you can take water at 100 degrees Celsius and oil at 60 degrees Celsius. You are just mixing up. So there may be some immiscibility and all, but anyway, you can see that there will be see temperature, heat flow, and there will be temperature. Okay, final resulting temperature will be there. Some two miscible liquids you take it, for example. Now what will happen is that since TA was initially at a higher temperature than TB, after mixing, the temperature of TA will drop. It will drop to some value, which value? The intermediate resulting temperature TF. And while what will happen for the subsystem B? Okay, so just you can think, okay, you can think that for the subsystem B, so for subsystem B, what happens is the temperature, the temperature will be rising from TB to TF. Okay, so that's what I mean, TB to TF. So for this problem, you imagine that we have made the instead of removing, either you can say instead of removing the partition, you imagine that okay, what you have done, you have just okay, made it conducting, okay, diathermic. That way also you can do. Okay, if it is liquids, there is no problem because heat will get transferred. You make the partition to be diathermic. That's also enough. Okay, our aim is to study the heat exchange. So let me say that the temperature of the second B will be increasing to TF from TB. Now how do we do this thing? Okay, what will be the entropy change? So what we can do is that since there is no any heat flow outside, there is no heat flow outside because it's adiabatic enclosure. So whatever heat will be, whatever heat is lost by system A will be gained by system B. So I can say that if Q amount of heat is lost by system A, then that same Q amount of heat will be gained by system B. So what is minus for this one will be plus for the other one. So that is what we have done earlier. Heat lost is equal to heat gained in an adiabatic enclosure. That's the principle. That's the principle of mixing here, right? So what we have to do is here, we have to calculate the entropy change of the two subsystems individually. You can calculate the entropy change of the two subsystems individually. Means you can calculate what is the entropy change of system A. Let me call it as delta SA. And you can similarly calculate the entropy change of system B, delta SB. And so what will be the total entropy change in the process? So it will be delta S total will be equal to, as we expect, delta SA, delta S for A, okay, plus what? Delta S that happens for B, right? Delta SA plus delta SB. Now, since it is adiabatic enclosure or it's just like an isolated system, you can see that you need not talk about anything what happens outside. So for the total system you can think about, right? Now how do you get delta SA? So it's quite simple. It's just like, okay, you are heating water from say 100 degrees Celsius, or some other thing, some 50 degrees Celsius to some 80 degrees Celsius, anything. There is no phase change here, okay, we assume. So that will be as usual, our equation is there. What will be the equation? That is delta S of A will be equal to, what will be that one? It will be integral from, what is the initial temperature of A? Its initial temperature is TA to TB. There is a temperature change, so we are supposed to integrate it. dq by T, right? Which you can write, usually what we are doing, we are writing it as what? MC of A, right? MC of A log T final divided by T initial for A. So since MC, TF and TA, if they are known, you will be able to calculate this one. So that is the thing. Similarly, what will be delta S for B? Delta S for B, that will be again from, what is the initial temperature of B? That was TB. And see, finally it will reach us what? TF. TB to TF, dq or d bar q over T, that will be equal to mass of, sorry, here I am supposed to write a mass of A, is not mass of the sample, mass of B into specific capacity of B into log of TF divided by TB. Okay, yeah. Can you tell me anything about the signs of delta SA and delta SB? See, we can see that TA is initially greater, okay, and intermediate temperature will be less than TA. So you can see that TF will be less than TA, is it not? TF will be less than TA, and TB will be, okay, TB will be less than TF. So since TF is less than TA, here it is TF by TA, okay, in this equation. So this one will be negative. Log of TF by TA will be negative. Okay, so this one will be a negative result, negative magnitude, okay, or sorry, negative quantity. And here TF is greater than TB, right? TF is greater than TB, so you will get this one as positive. So this one will be positive entropy change, and you can just logically check why it should be so, because A has lost some heat. So if heat is lost, the entropy should decrease, and B has gained the heat. Okay, so its entropy should what? Increase. So logically you can just okay, think of it like this. So that is why one is positive and other is what? Negative. So what will be delta S total? So after calculating these two using this equations, you can calculate delta SA plus delta SB. But there is a problem here. What's the problem? The problem is that you usually know TA, TB, initial temperatures of the two systems, MA, okay, MB, CA, CB, but you may be unaware of what will be TF. So what do you do in such cases? You have to calculate TF first, and you know how to calculate TF, that we already discussed in the previous module. Okay, in mixing problems we have discussed already, or let me discuss it for completion here to remind you. So since it's adiabatic, since walls are adiabatic, since walls are adiabatic, what you can do? Heat lost by A will be equal to heat gained by B. So what will be that one? Heat lost by A, that is dq, right? So q itself, so it will be equal to MACA MCDT, that is thing, MACA into what is that? You just equate the magnitudes, TA minus TF. dt will be TA minus TF, so TA to TF it is changing, or TA to TF it is changing. So larger minus smaller you take, TA minus TF. Take only the magnitude, that's what we mean. So that's equal to, on the other side what should be? It should be heat gained by B, that will be equal to MB CB, heat capacity, specific heat capacity to be precise, into what is that? TF will be greater than TA. So it will be TF minus what? Sorry, TB. TF will be greater than TB. Okay. So now you can just rearrange the problems, and you can calculate what is TF equal to, as we have done in the previous things. So this is the way in which you have to approach problems involving entropy change during the adiabatic mixing of two fluids. Okay. So you can do the numericals. I'll be leaving some assignments, problem assignment for you to work out and practice. See that you make sure you are thorough with how to deal with problems involving entropy change. So it will be asked from, or it will be usually from, okay, 90% of the problems will be usually from the topics that we have discussed in the three sample problem sessions. Okay, practice more. Wish you all the best. Thank you.